thank you so much for being here for today's video. So today's video is actually going to be an organizing video. I think the last time that I posted an organization and declutter video was like a year ago when I did my pantry organization. So if you have not seen that video, I will go ahead and leave that up above as well as down below in the description box, and you can go ahead and watch that. But the reason that I brought that up as well is because today's video is going to be an area that I'm organizing that used to be in the pantry. I'm actually moving it out of the pantry. So if you have not seen that video, you probably would have known, but I actually stored my medicine in the pantry. I had two baskets. One was labeled adults medicine and then children's medicine. And that was kind of the way that I was storing all of our medicine, but it's just not working anymore. Like, it's overflowing. The system is not working anymore. So I've decided to move all the medication out from the pantry. So before we lived in this house, we actually lived in a townhome, and I was actually storing all our medication in the bathroom. But I actually read somewhere in like an article that they don't recommend for you to store your medications in the bathroom for two reasons. One, obviously you don't want to give access to other people to grab medications that they shouldn't, especially when you have kids in the house. And then second, they say that sometimes the hot, like when you're taking a hot shower, all of that steam can kind of mess with the medications. So that was kind of one of the reasons why I kind of moved my medication system over to the kitchen. But obviously now having it in the pantry is just not working. It's just overflowing. I was kind of having to dig through things because nothing was categorized. So I was already keeping some supplements in this cabinet, as well as like just figure why not just go ahead and move all of the medication into that cabinet. And that way I can kind of free some space up in the pantry for me to grow, or maybe move some other areas that are overflowing in the pantry into those baskets, and it just made more sense to do it that way. And then if I moved it into this cabinet, it actually gives me the opportunity to really categorize each like medicine, like medication, so I can do probably like cold and cough, allergy, and that sort of thing. And honestly, this really just inspired me because I watched the second season of The Home Edit on Netflix, and I was just like re-inspired. Those are kind of the things that kind of get me all excited and giddy. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get that done. It shouldn't take me too long. I think it should be pretty straightforward and straight to the point. I'm not doing anything very like crazy or complicated. It should be pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get straight to it. If you are not subscribed to my channel, this is a great time to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I would love to have you part of the YouTube family here. And at the moment, I don't have a specific day that I'm uploading. I kind of been uploading on Saturdays, but I'm still kind of playing with the days of what works best for my channel. So with that being said, you probably want to go ahead and hit that notification bell, because that would tell you when it'll basically notify you every time that I upload. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling and we're going to go ahead and jump into today's video. Okay, so this is what the medication looks like. As you can see, everything's kind of just mixed in there together, kind of just thrown in there. There's really no organization to this. It started out being really organized because I had these little white bins that was kind of organizing things. But obviously, as my medication supply has grown, yeah, there's really just no organization to this. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of this out and put it on the counter, and then I'm going to go through expiration dates, and then I'm also going to separate everything in categories. So hopefully that should help, and then I should be able to start putting things into bins. So I went ahead and separated everything. I have my supplements, allergy, sleep, pain relief, cough and cold, ointments. I have some tests here, and then I have children's medicine, And this is like immunity. And then I have some first aid and thermometers. So I think I kind of categorize how I want it. I also have a first aid kit here that I might end up putting somewhere else, but for now, this is kind of what I have. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go through everything, make sure that there's no expirations. And then I'm going to go ahead and make labels for the bins. So I'm actually really glad that I went through the medication because all of this was expired. Like, wow. Like, I think I took a Benadryl like not too long ago, and this expired like in January, I think. So, yep, maybe I should have gone through my medication a little bit more, but I'm gonna go ahead and toss all of this. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to dispose of medications because I know sometimes they say you're not supposed to throw it in the trash, but I don't know. I mean, that's the only other way that I know how to dispose of them. But I'm going to go ahead and toss all of this, and then we're going to move on to the next step. All right, you guys, and now we're going to go ahead and jump into the Cricut design space. And I know that it's probably going to look that like it's really, really easy, but I'm actually a beginner at the Cricut. Like I was very intimidated. I got the Cricut for Christmas, and this is actually my very first time using it. And I will say it was hours in the making trying to just make this project because I'm definitely not a pro at this, but I did watch a ton of videos, and if it wasn't for Jennifer Maker here on YouTube, I would be completely lost. And I think also what happened was that I gave myself a project that was a little bit more complicated than just your like standard, just like use a Cricut pen or use a cutting. And I had a vision in my head. I wanted black labels, and I wanted the writing, I wanted the letters to be white, and I couldn't find a solution. And then I found this YouTube video. She was using the American Crafts chalk marker, and I bought it on Amazon, and it worked out. But then I soon realized I had to get a pen adapter for cutting machines. So I ended up having to purchase that. And then also my mistake was that I bought cardstock paper. It was like sticker cardstock paper, but I just didn't like the way it looked. So I did have to go back to Michael's and purchase the Cricut vinyl chalkboard. And I think it's basically it's made for chalk pens. And that one I loved, and it came out exactly how I wanted it. Like I said, I had a vision in my head. I wanted it to be black labels with white writing, and it came out perfect. So you're going to see in just a little bit how the labels turn out. All right, and now that we have our labels, I'm actually going to tape around the bins, and I was actually using the guide of the label that was already there to basically guide me of where I wanted to tape it, because I wanted to make sure that when I go to put the labels that they pretty much were perfectly aligned. That's probably the perfectionist in me. I just wanted to make sure that they all basically were the same. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I did end up removing the labels. And when I did that, it did leave a lot of residue, like sticky residue. So I did have to use some Goo Gone to basically remove that. I don't understand why every time that they make containers, they make it so difficult for you to remove the labels. Like, I feel like this is probably the hardest part of organizing, is just removing the labels. Let me know down in the comments below what kind of projects you have done with your Cricut, or if there's something in particular that you've been wanting to do. I actually originally asked for the Cricut for Christmas because I had seen a lot of people DIY their own doormats for the fall, and I really wanted to do one of them. And I looked them up on Etsy, and they were just so expensive. And so I know for a fact that that's what I'm going to be doing in the fall with my Cricut, but I don't really have anything else in mind. So I would like to know what kind of projects you have done, or if there's something that you have on your mind that you still haven't done. I would love to know. So make sure to leave me a comment down below so I can kind of get some ideas. Alright you guys, so that is going to be it for today's video. It's a very much short and sweet. I wanted to make it pretty straightforward and straight to the point. This kind of just shows you that if you have a place in your home that you're trying to organize, it doesn't have to be a very big project. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!